What's up guys, it's your boy Mr. Moves, back again with another tutorial. This one here is going to be on OBS, and it's going to be focused on your overlays, basically making them more professional, clean them up, and hopefully help your stream grow. The first thing I'm going to talk about is the overlay itself, just how to make it cleaner, how to get a better overlay, and then once we've touched on that briefly, I'm going to focus on the text files that you use with that overlay. It's the number one mistake I see among new streamers, and it's definitely something I think it can help with. So let's go ahead and start with the overlays. For those of you that don't know, overlays are images that can be placed over your gameplay or window capture, whatever you're recording, in order to display information. So right here I have the overlay. This is the one that I use on my streams. It's a very clean, simple overlay that I enjoy a lot. But the number one mistake I see among new streamers especially is just having a bad overlay. It's bulky, it's excessive, and it takes up too much space. When you're streaming a game, the focus should be on that game, not on the overlay. Here's an example. Obviously this one's a little exaggerated, but I just whipped this up so that y'all could see. This is an example of what I consider a bad overlay. If I come into a stream and over like 40% of the gameplay is covered up with an overlay, it really is distracting and it takes away from the gameplay itself. If you are in the market for a better overlay, I personally run a design company. I will leave the link in the description. Let me know. Contact me on Twitter or email. I work with all sorts of customers on custom designs for your stream. But with that out of the way, I'm going to touch on the second point. Once you have this nice clean overlay that makes your stream professional, this is the number one mistake I see among streamers once they have this overlay. What happens a lot of the time is this right here. So you can see down here at the bottom right over there where I have the recent sub, recent donations, and recent cheers. What you use then is text files to fill those gaps. That auto update, I'm going to assume for the purpose of this tutorial that you understand how to use text files using Streamlabs. If you don't, I will leave a link in the description to a tutorial that explains how to do that. But now that we have that out of the way, we're going to go back over to this, and I'm going to show you how to make this better. This is what I see most people do. They add a text file. Let's just say, we'll just leave it named that. Normally you go read for file, browse, and pick the file you want. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to type it in. They'll do something like, I don't know, let's say I have a recent donator. I'm just going to make it the captain. That's a good buddy of mine. He's a good streamer. And then he would have donated $100, JK, but we'll just roll with it. So what they'll do is they'll do that, and then they'll just throw it on the overlay. I can't downscale it. But you can't, well, I can, but it's going to be hard for me to see. You can see, though, that that text right there does not match at all with my overlay. So here's what you've got to do. What we're going to do is we're going to go and change the font. That is the number one issue, I swear. Obviously, you have this list of default fonts. But that's not what I recommend using. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to our browser, and we're going to go to dafont.com. Now, whatever designer you're using, they are going to use some sort of font with your overlay. Now, what I recommend doing is contacting them and asking them for the name or the link to the font that they are using. So in this case, on my overlay, I'm using a font called Big Noodle Titling, I think. Something like that. Yeah, Big Noodle Titling, that is what I'm using. So dafont.com, by the way, has more fonts than anybody else. I recommend it. You are going to download this font like any other font. Now, once you've downloaded it and installed it, we're going to go back to OBS, and it should, you may have to close out OBS and reopen it, but once you've downloaded that, you can then add that font to the text files themselves. So here it should appear big noodle titling. And now the font that I'm using here matches with the font of the overlay. It cleans up your stream so much. I can't stress the importance of this. It makes the quality of that overlay go up so much. It's very simple to do. It doesn't take much time, but it will make a huge difference, I promise. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any tips for me, if you want to see more, please feel free to leave a like, a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. I will be continuing to upload tutorials, hopefully improving the quality of these tutorials. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.